whosoever be he worthy shall have the power. Whatever, man. It's a trick.
Oh, it is much more than that, my friend.
If I lift it, do I get to rule Asgard?
Yes, of course.
I will be fair but firmly cruel. Be right back.
Are we even pulling?
Are you on my team?
Just represent, pull.
All right, let's go.
Come on, Cap.
Nothing.
Oh, no, that's not a question I need answered.
The handle's imprinted. Whosoever is carrying Thor's fingerprints is, I think, the literal translation.
Yes, well, that's a very interesting theory. I have a simpler one. You're all not worthy.
How could you be worthy? You're all puppets, tangled in strings.
It's the end. The end of the path I started us on.
Nothing lasts forever.
No strings on me.
On top of the world, on top of it all, trying to feel invincible. Yeah, yeah, dying on top of the world. I remember the nights, caught up in dreaming my goodbyes, watching the door for anything more than an ordinary life. I remember the days, new beginnings on an open page. Something to prove, nothing to lose, not a soul to betray. Here I am, living a dream that I can't hold. Here I am on my own, on top of the world, on top of it all, trying to feel invincible. Yeah, yeah, I'm dying on top of the world. I remember the lights, caught up in building paradise. The angels were slaves, the demons behaved, and everything was alright. Here I am, living a dream that I can't hold. Here I am on my own, on top of the world, on top of it all, trying to feel invincible. Yeah, yeah, on top of the world, on top of it all, trying reach me. But I'm on top of the world, up here I'm dying alone. Inside the walls are cold, outside of happiness. It's only a show, too late to confess. No room for heart and soul, no room for innocence. Innocence, on top of the world, on top of it all. Trying to feel invincible. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh. On top of the world, on top of it all. Trying to feel invincible. Yeah, oh, yeah. On top of the world, on top of it all. Trying to feel invincible. Yeah, yeah. I'm dying on top of the world. Dying on top of the world.
Good evening. Welcome to Not the Show. I'm Joe.
I'm drinking beer. This is Mondo.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Good. How are you? I had a mouthful of beer.
Yeah, that's cool. That was Top of the World by Greek Fire. That's from the Big Hero 6 movie that's coming out this weekend. And I played it because I'm going to go see it.
There you go.
How have you been? Oh, and we also played the Avengers trailer. Sorry, I cut you off there. We also played the Avengers trailer. We'll talk about that.
I thought I'd have a goof for the Big Hero 6, but I had all this time to prepare with all the technical issues we were having, and I didn't even bother coming up with a goof.
It's okay. No worries. There's enough struggle to get the show going.
Yeah, it was. What's up with Google tonight?
I don't know.
Fucking
Google
Google.
sucks.
What a bunch of
I'm
bastards.
glad you don't have one of those Google phones anymore.
I miss my Google phone, bro. I like don't get me wrong, but I do miss the Google phone.
Yeah. If anyone's interested, they could go to fuckinginternets.com and read Mondo's little post about his phones.
Yeah, you read that?
I did.
I missed that back button, bro.
I know you do, man. I've never had one, so I've only ever had that on-screen back button. And that's only there sometimes, too.
Right, that's my issue. It's only there sometimes.
Well, you know what it is? It's the philosophy of iPhone is you always want to go pick the home button and go back to the main screen. If you really want to switch between two apps back and forth, you use the double tap and switch back and forth. When I have a Google tablet, right? I have the Nexus 7,
right?
And I never use the back button. I hate the back button. I don't ever want to go back to the app I was in before. I almost always want to go back to the home screen. And I don't know how you go to the app. I guess you use the back button if you want to switch between two apps on the Android gadgets.
You want to go back. Like for instance, when I'm looking at certain websites and ads pop up, for the App Store, it's like then the App Store comes up, and I can't necessarily close the App Store, without going home, and then closing it, and then I have to tap again to get to my, whatever app I was using before I accidentally tapped that. Whereas before, if I accidentally did that on Android, I was just like, fucker, and I just hit the back button, and that went away, and I was back reading whatever I was reading.
I think if you get used to the double click and then switching to it from the app switcher, it's similar. There's an extra step in there, but at least you don't have to wait for the home screen to pop up and then find the app again if it's on another page.
Right. It's going to take some getting used to.
Yeah. On what they don't do, because on an iPad, and I don't know about the Apple, the 6 Plus, but on an iPad, if I have two different apps open, I think I can just switch between them by using, I can use 4 fingers, and I can, once that's doing something, but I can use 4 fingers, and I can swipe between the last few apps I've been using.
Right.
As well as the double tap for the app switcher. Anyway, they don't do that on iPhone. There's no gestures. Not that kind of gesture, anyway.
Right.
Anyway, So Halloween passed.
Yes.
Candy.
Yeah, I bought a very little bit. Nobody came to my door.
I didn't have anybody
You
either.
left it outside.
I did. It's like we're reading each other's minds. Yeah, I left it outside, and we went trick-or-treating with Joe, and we came back, there was still candy left, actually.
Really?
We didn't get rid of it all. I mean, when we went to like a big festival thing in a park, and the houses near the park, everyone had candy. All the kids were everywhere. But when we got a little further from there, closer to my house, we have 3 or 4 neighbors that were around to give out candy, and we left our bucket. Jojo had a good time, though. That's all that mattered, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you have a costume? No costume for you?
No. No, I sat on the couch and watched Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Well, that's fun, though. I went to a party.
Nice.
Not on Friday night. Saturday night I went to a party. With, like, a bunch of my friends. It was fun.
Adult party.
Yes. Grown-up party. Costumes.
Drinks?
Drinks, although I didn't drink anything.
No.
There's carbs in drinks. I don't drink carbs at the moment.
Not even on Halloween. It's like Christmas.
You can't. You know, I won't drink it. I won't do it on Christmas either if I'm still dieting because.
What about Thanksgiving?
No carbs. I'll eat plenty of turkey.
Oh my God.
I think it's just the way the diet works. It'll take 2 weeks to get back to the other way. I don't know if that's guaranteed, but from what I understand, once I switch back and my body starts burning carbs instead of fat, it takes time to get back to the other way, which is the whole point of the diet.
Right. Okay, that makes sense, I suppose.
I lost 55 pounds. I mean, I'm at a point now where I'll be under 250 in probably a week, and I don't know that I've ever been under 250. And
well, probably when you were a kid.
I'm sure when I was a kid, but
I was under 250 once upon a time.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna mess it up now. I'm like right near my first goal, and then I'll lose some more because I still have a belly. Even at 250, I still have kind of a gut.
Sure.
And so once I reach 250, I don't know if I have a number goal anymore, but I'll keep looking at how I look and feel, and then I'll eventually have to stop. But you know, it's been good, and so I'm not gonna ruin it.
Now, don't the clear liquors, like the see-through ones, I thought they were like low carb.
Wines have very little carb. Alcohol, though, almost all real liquor has like carbs.
What about vodka? Isn't vodka good for you?
I don't know.
Or gin?
I was never that kind of drinker, though. So I was a beer guy, and beer's the worst.
I like beer. I'm drinking beer now.
So I just did Silent Bob for Halloween.
I saw one of the pictures.
Did you?
Yes.
I thought it was a big cop-out because I've done it before, and it's barely a costume. I just wear my trench coat and jeans. I did go buy a Mubi hat from the Secret Stash down in Jersey.
Do you have it downstairs with you? Because I only saw it backwards.
No, it's upstairs. It's upstairs. I was gonna wear it, but then I forgot, and we started, and I left it upstairs. Everybody loved it, though. I mean, first of all, I'm quiet, so it sort of works for me no matter what.
Sure.
But
sure.
I thought it was going to be like lame, but everyone thought it was awesome.
Yeah, no.
I guess that's good.
Well, you know, it helps that you're likable.
I guess so.
You know, your friends
Thank
do.
you.
And, you know, you make an excellent Silent Bob. Now, did you have a J?
Did I have what?
Did you have a J?
I didn't, and that's an issue. I should have, if I would have had more forethought, or if Jen was coming to the party with me, but she didn't, maybe I could have had a J. That would have been awesome. There were a lot of like pairs of costumes. Like two of my friends went as like Top Gun. Like I don't know if they were supposed to be Maverick and Goose, or I guess probably. They had jumpsuits and shiny sunglasses. It was awesome.
Cool.
Another one of my friends went as Gemma from Sons of Anarchy.
Mary Ellen always wanted to do group costumes.
Yeah.
And she always picked group costumes where she would be awesome, and like the rest of us would be like not awesome. For instance, he would say we should do a group costume this year, and we'd be like, all right, what do you want to do? And she'd be like, let's be the A team. I'll be B.A. Baracus, and the rest of you guys be the rest of the A team. And I'm like, all right, so you get to have the mohawk and the jewelry, and we just wear clothes. Because that's pretty much the A team. That's the A team costume is you wear clothes, and one guy gets to wear a lot of jewelry and have a mohawk. She'd be like, let's do I Love Lucy. She's like, I'll be Lucy, and you guys be the rest of the gang. And it's like, so we'll just, wear clothes. Like, you'll be a standout, and we're just going to, I'll be Fred Mertz. It's like,
I guess someone could dress like
right.
I guess someone could dress like a...
We would always poop
Is
our
there a-
idea.
It's funny. There were some group costumes. There was 4 guys that were... I thought they were mimes when I first got there. They had white face paint, and they were wearing striped shirts, and they had baguettes. And I was like, are they mimes? But they had Kiss makeup on, so they were French Kiss.
Okay. Yeah, I get
It's
it.
kind of funny.
I see what they did there.
Yeah. One of them, every time he saw me, he just went, Silent Bob! And I just kind of waved as I went past. Quietly.
Wait, if he was a mime, shouldn't he have not spoken?
Maybe they would just Kiss, dressed like French.
Hmm.
With baguettes and French flags.
All right. It's hurting my brain to think of that. I guess I just can't think of like a French person like in any sort of makeup without them being a mime.
Yeah,
in my head, even if they're dressing up like Kiss. I mean, in my head, they just automatically become mimes.
Gotta be mimes. You're right. There was also the Family Guy, the parents, were the couple?
Peter and Lois.
Yeah, there was a Peter and Lois. And they had a baby. They had a Stewie stuffed animal.
Aw.
Yeah, the dog kept taking it and running around the house with it.
Now, I always wanted to do this, and no one's done it with me, so I haven't. But I always wanted to be Peter Griffin and go to like a bar on Halloween and be Peter Griffin and like make Peter Griffin jokes, and people will be like, "Yeah, he's Peter Griffin." It's like nothing special. He's wearing a green pants and a white shirt, and he's got glasses on. It's like not that creative. But then I want someone else dressed as that chicken to come into the bar, and then I'll just be like, "You son of a bitch," and then just get into the big chicken fight and like have it just go outside and like go on for like forever, like have props laying around. But I haven't found a willing guy in a chicken suit yet.
Yeah, that's a problem. You need that.
But that would be brilliant. Unappreciated my time occasionally, I guess.
Definitely. So that's it I guess that's it for what we did this week. I can't think of. I think that's all I did.
Yeah, and there's not much else. I mean, we did our last show like late last week, so.
Yeah, that's true. It's
There
only been a
was
few days.
Halloween, and yeah, it's only been a few days.
We are going to record the movie show, the winter movie show, this week, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to push it out on Monday next week. So we'll record it whenever we're recording, and but we'll put it out as episode 97 a week from today.
Okay.
All right. This way I don't have to deal with all the uploading on Thursday. When we record, I'll deal with all the uploading on Monday during our usual show time.
Cool. And you can edit.
I could if I want, but I don't know that.
Yeah, no, I'll write a whole bunch of goofs, and like I'll ask you to cut certain ones out, and of course you won't, so it'll be like a lot of me going like that, and that'll be my goof.
It's fun. We're gonna have fun having connections. I have a couple friends. I'm thinking maybe we do a trial run before we record Thursday and see if everybody can get their Hangouts working prior to actual recording.
That'd be good. I'll try to like clean up my internets.
So let's start the rest of the show. We're gonna talk.
Sure.
We're gonna do some headlines.
Yeah.
If I had like a soundboard, I'd play it. Oh, speaking of the soundboard, before we go into headlines, I know we have a section.
God damn it.
I was gonna. It's so awesome. Are you back?
Yeah.
You moved.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you now. Do you hear me? You're still frozen on my screen.
Oh, there you go. You're back now.
Yeah. Okay, you're back too.
All right. So it's called Soundbar.
Yeah.
It's Paul and Storm are the name of the sort of comedians, but they also sing, and they're nerds. They're nerdy comedians.
Right.
And so they have this thing called Soundbar. So when you open the app, you get this screen, and it says combat, atmosphere, table talk, encounters, spoils, characters, and roles. My audio on my phone, one sec. Oops. Here we go. Natural 20.
That's good.
What about a critical hit?
Critical hit. How you like that shit? Baby, that's what you are. Another critical hit.
That is awesome.
And then there's some other ones. There's some that are just sound for atmosphere. There's some that are like my favorite one is
I'm a motherfucking sorcerer.
that's my favorite one. And and some people and some of them are famous people did them. Also, there's things for like encounters, like let's say you fall into a deep pit. It is a pay app. I think it's.
Yeah, it's like $5.
I don't know if you tend to pay for apps, but it's a pay app.
I do if the app is worthwhile. It sounds like it might be worthwhile.
How about this one? Ready?
The DM is a douche.
I call bullshit.
Anyway, so there's like a whole bunch.
Hark! It's time to order some.
Did you freeze again? I think you did.
Bolt. Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt.
Anyway, you get the idea, and I thought you'd like
Yeah.
that, so
It's definitely awesome. I might actually pay money for that.
here's a someone is dead.
Somebody, 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 somebody's dead, and it's you.
Nice.
I mean, it's amusing and probably good from like one or two games where I think everybody would laugh, but I don't know how old it would get and how fast.
Yeah.
But that's good stuff, right?
Absolutely.
I haven't even been DMing or playing, but when I saw it, I was like, I gotta have this. Okay, let's go on. Well, let's talk about other stuff. Let's start with the Avengers. We watched the Avengers trailer.
Yep.
And this week, Marvel announced their Phase 3 release dates of all their films and the films that their next bunch of films. And those are going to be Age of Ultron is May 1st next year, Ant-Man, Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which was pushed to May 5th, Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Inhumans, and then the Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2, which are being split and being released a year apart. That's May 4th and May 3rd of 2018 and 2019. Now, I'm sure these dates are tentative because that's really far out. But
It is, but I'll tell you, I don't think they're tentative as far as like which will be first.
Right.
Because Thor's taken Guardians' old slot, which leads me to believe that a lot of these are, I mean, of course they all tie together, but I think a lot of these are going to be tying together a lot closer leading into the Infinity War. And I think whatever happens in Guardians needs to happen before Thor Ragnarok, which is why I think they might have shuffled them.
Yeah, that's.
I could be wrong.
No, it sounds pretty logical, actually.
I mean, Guardians made enough money where they could just be like, well, if we bump it up to, like, to earlier in the year, we could possibly make more money, in that early summer. But I don't think so. I think it's going to be because of the way everything's tying together leading into Infinity War.
And from what I understand, by the time we get to the third Avengers, these are not even really the same. We're not going to have the same Avengers that we have now, are we?
No, not all of them. Some of them I think will be the same, but not all of them.
Right, and I'm pretty sure. See, I don't know if I want to do spoilers in here, but from what I heard, did I read somewhere that Hulk is going to be in Captain America this season, and so is what's her name? Again, she was in the last Captain America also.
Black Widow.
Yeah, Black Widow.
ScarJo.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about Hulk, but I do know that Iron Man, Tony Stark, will be in the Captain America 3. It's going to be Captain America: Civil War.
Right, now Civil War is a pretty popular storyline from Captain America, isn't it? One of the bigger ones, anyway.
Yes, definitely one of the bigger ones. I don't know if I would say it was one of the more popular ones. I mean, it sold well, but fans were pretty well divided, and a lot of them did not really care for Civil War. It did make sense to a lot of them. But basically, the premise in the comics was that some superheroes get into some no-good trouble fighting some villains for a reality TV show they were on. And they wind up, nuking, accidentally. It wasn't really their fault, but it was. They wind up nuking, a small town in Connecticut. So everybody gets all upset, and they decide to make superheroes register. They have to reveal their identities and register, and Iron Man's on board with that. Captain America is not, and it becomes two factions that actually really fight it out, and it involves the entire Marvel universe in one way or another. And a lot of fans didn't really care for that. I think it's going to be a lot different in the movies.
Yeah.
Similar but different, because I mean, how many secret identities do we have? And this is something I've been seeing all over the internet. Is they're talking about how they're going to do Civil War. Nobody's got a secret identity. Everybody knows who everybody is.
Right now, because right now everybody knows everyone.
Right.
And even in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or maybe it was the end of the last Captain America movie, didn't Scarlett Johansson release all their files onto the internet or something like that at the end of Cap?
Yep.
The last Captain movie. Yeah, so that they don't have secret identities. But I mean, they did a similar origin registration mutant. Remember the Mutant Registration Act from one of the X-Men movies?
Yep.
And I realized that X-Men haven't been involved in the Avenger movies, although they could. It seems too similar to do that kind of. Maybe they won't. Maybe they don't. Maybe it's been long enough that it doesn't matter, though.
Right.
Anyway, so that's interesting. And the trailer. What do you think of the trailer?
I liked it. I liked that whole light-hearted scene with the hammer lifting. I like the fact that Captain America almost lifted it.
Yeah, I like that too.
And the whole Ultron thing. That's gonna be pretty good. I like James Spader's voice as Ultron. I'm still not exactly sure which Ultron story, because there have been many in many of the Avengers books, but I'm not sure which one they're going to be following. But regardless, it's going to be pretty good.
Cool. Yeah, it looked good. I like the Hulk armor too.
Yeah, the Hulkbuster armor.
Mm-hmm. I just watched the end of Iron Man 3 again about half hour ago, or whatever, hour ago.
Yep.
He destroyed all his armor, and he took his arc reactor out and all that. And I'm curious to see how they, I'm sure he just built more suits.
Exactly. It's like for Tony Stark, building armor and arc reactors is like when I tried to quit smoking. It's like I will smoke my last cigarette, I'll throw a pack away, and I'll be like, I'm fucking done smoking. I'm done forever. And then half an hour later, in my car, driving to the store. For Tony Stark, it's like the exact same thing. He can just he can call his house and say, build me another Iron Man suit, and it'll start the production for him. By the time he gets home,
That's
he's
true,
an
but
Iron Man suit.
and he promised what's her name, Gwyneth Paltrow, but sometimes emergencies come up.
Exactly.
So looking good. I'm excited.
I think he's going to get back into the armor for the movie, but I have a feeling that he's going to have a lot more. Like maybe at the beginning, like the whole Iron Man thing is going to be more of a drone kind of situation.
Like he's done before, of course.
Right. So it's going to be like he's done it in the comics too, where he's not actually in the suit. He's just got like Iron Man flying about.
Right, and I mean we do see it does look like Ultron is controlling one of his suits when we first see him in that trailer, and then we see him again later on in his actual robotic form, which, from what I understand, he's made of the same stuff that Captain America's shield is made of, which is
Vibranium.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on. There was a big news about Ghostbusters a couple weeks ago, and they're going to do a reboot. We knew they were trying to do a reboot, and we had read that some of the cast members didn't want to be in it. Now we've also got a dead cast member, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, so now they're saying that it's going to be all female Ghostbusters.
Have any names been attached? I don't know. I don't like it. It's not because I'm a sexist or anything. It's because it just seems like a gimmick.
Yeah, no names yet.
Yeah, and it just seems very gimmicky to me.
I do know that
reboot. From what I understand now, it's going to be a reboot. So it's like it's not even going to be like these are just like new Ghostbusters that they all happen to be women. It's going to be a complete reboot. That could just be rumor, but that's what I'm hearing now.
Yep, I heard the same thing, and I did read that Ernie Hudson disapproves. And since you are the one and only member of the Ernie Hudson fan club, we should pay attention to that.
We should. It depends why, though. If he's saying that because it sounds gimmicky,
of course,
then I absolutely agree. If he's saying it because he's like sexist or something, well then I'm shocked, Ernie.
I don't think he said it. I don't think he said it because he's sexist. All right, we're going to go through some more headlines. These are going to be a little quicker. This is our new thing we're trying, by the way, listeners. A couple of conversation stories. Then we're going to read some headlines, and then our main topic of discussion tonight will be
how the internet freezes on you. Oh, you're back. I'm back. One of us is back.
Jim Henson is doing a Labyrinth sequel. No word on whether or not David Bowie or any of the other cast members will be in it.
I understand that the first Labyrinth was entirely about masturbation.
Was it?
Yep. I believe it's a Cracked article, cracked.com. I will, if I can find the article later, I will post the link in the on the Not the Show page for this podcast. I don't remember the details, but apparently the whole thing is about Jennifer Connelly growing up, and somehow masturbation's involved.
I hear you.
Oh, I was just texting you.
Huh.
Have you been recording this whole time still?
I think so, but it was neither of us had connection. So Google went down. Even the Google Doc told me it was trying to connect, and it had issues too.
Okay, so this is Google problems. It's not my connection or your connection.
It could be my connection. I don't know. But we were mentioning Labyrinth.
Yeah, and how it's about masturbation.
Yes, you were going to
I'll post the link.
Why is it about masturbation? You can explain.
I can't remember.
If you don't want to, you don't have to. But.
No, let me see if I can pull it up quick enough.
You said you read it somewhere?
Yeah, crack.com. Labyrinth. How do you spell that? Labyrinth. Masturbation. Right up.
I don't know. Is it too late?
Labyrinth is secretly about masturbation. Oh, it looks like it's a video. So yeah, I'll post the link to the video in the.
That's good enough then.
Yeah.
Put the link up someplace.
But it made a lot of sense to me, man. Made a lot of sense to me. Did we lose each other again here? Maybe it is your connection. What happens if I refresh this page?
I hear you again.
Hey, there we are.
Labyrinth was 1986. With thoughts on?
People masturbated in 1986.
I suppose they did. If David Bowie comes back, maybe it'll be good.
Yeah, it might be.
Let's move on. The Stand.
I'd like Jennifer Connelly to come back.
She's awesome, so I hope she comes back too. They're gonna be old though.
Yeah.
The Stand might be split into 2 films instead of 1. Remember, we had a rumor that I would make it into a 1 film, a 1,500-page book.
Yep.
So the director said that. Stephen King said, I think his take on the film is terrific. He's talking about who's he talking about? Josh Boone, who's writing the screenplay. He said, I think his take is terrific, and don't count it being 1 film. There's talk about doing it an entirely different and innovative way, and I don't want to go into it because that's Josh's baby. He's hugely ambitious and hugely energetic, and we'll see what happens. I think that's good news.
That is good news. Better news might be 3. 2 might be good, though. There's a lot of material to cover, and a lot of it is not like filler.
Very true. So there's some news on the upcoming Terminator movies. J.K. Simmons, who is in the new film, he's been in a million things actually, says it's a gigantic movie and it was surprised they sent that to me and asked me to do it. I thought it's a gigantic movie and on that level something most actors would want to be a part of, but it's going to be formulaic and just going to be stuff blowing up, but he found the script was to be much more intelligent and fun and funny and well-rounded and heartfelt. It's a love story. Now, they're talking about Terminator. Is it really a love story?
No. I'm going to go out on a limb and say no. Because is it the only time it was ever a love story? Well, all right, wait. Maybe it is. I might be wrong. And the first one was a love story between a girl and a homeless guy from the future who were being killed by a robot. The second one is about a mom's love for her son and a son's love for his robot, which came from the future.
Yes, it is. That's right.
His mom was almost a homeless person. The third one was about the kid from Carnival. Hooks up with Claire Danes. He's in love with her. He eventually became a homeless person. And the fourth one had Christian Bale. And I don't remember any homeless people or love. If Christopher Nolan directed it, it would be about Christian Bale and Christopher Nolan being in love. But I don't remember who directed it. Probably not Christopher Nolan. See, so I'm kind of like doing like what you do, and I'm just talking to myself now. But I'm not recording, so none of these, nothing I say is getting through. Unless you're hearing me and I'm just not seeing you or hearing you. I suppose it's a possibility. I'm gonna try refreshing my Googles again. Yeah, I think the problem might be on your end. For once. I don't know. Could be, might not be.
Same problem again.
Yeah.
Server error. Gave me a server error and it rebooted us both.
Okay.
We're gonna keep struggling with this, I guess, and we'll finish the show out. But what a mess Google is tonight.
Yeah, it is.
So 5 years after Zombieland, there's going to be a sequel written by the guy who wrote the new Godzilla movie. It says that it doesn't say if it's going to, the same cast members are going to come back, but Zombieland was a good movie, so why not?
So we're hardly going to see the zombies, and Bryan Cranston will be in it for like about a minute, but he'll get like top billing.
I didn't see Godzilla, so I didn't even know that.
Me either, but that's
I
the
did know that.
complaint I hear about it. Yeah, I hear people complaining about that all the time.
Bill and Ted's number 3 will feature 40-something Bill and Ted. Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves have both signed on to be in the 3rd movie. Bill and Ted will be 40-something, and it's all about Bill and Ted grown up or not grown up, Winter tells us. It's really sweet and really fucking funny. But it's a Bill and Ted movie, that's what it is. It's for the fans of Bill and Ted. It fits neatly into the series. It's not going to feel like a reboot. The conceit is very funny. What if you're middle-aged, haven't really grown up, and you're supposed to have saved the world, and maybe, just maybe, you kind of haven't. There's a lot of questions in the movie, including what happened to these, what happened 20 years later, and to answer that question in a comedic way felt rich with possibility.
Just so long as there's a phone booth.
Yep, I think it's good. I'll go see it. Why not?
I probably will too.
Yeah, it's a long time off. It's not coming anytime soon. William Shatner confirmed
I think the last thing Alex Winter did was Bill and Ted 2, wasn't it? No.
I think he does documentaries lately.
Yeah, he does. He's got his own life away from Bill and Ted. Okay.
Quite a mess tonight, the Google.
Yeah, it is. There we are.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just stop soon. William Shatner confirmed he was contacted to do Star Trek 3 and he would love to do it.
I would love him not to do it.
So would I.
And this is, I mean, I love William Shatner, and I love the Shatner Kirk. But let's face it, man has not aged well. And if William Shatner ever listens to this show, I apologize, Bill. I love you. Not aged well. So it's like when Zachary Quinto sees old Spock, he's just kind of like, look at that guy. That's the guy I'm going to be when I'm old. And I can handle that because Leonard Nimoy's got that gravitas. Chris Pine is going to look at Kirk and be like, holy shit. And he'll spend the rest of the movie series depressed as fuck, eating donuts, because he knows that that's what he has to become. So,
You're probably right.
Poor Bill Shatner. I'm making fun of him.
What if he doesn't play himself? What if he plays, just a random character, just a cameo?
Like Kirk's grandpa?
Yeah, maybe.
Rumor is, and I mean absolute rumor, I'm not even sure where I heard it, but rumor is it would be like not even something that would relate to the current rebooted universe. It would be like something in like a Spock memory. So it's like Spock remembering something about him and Kirk did back in the day, like old Spock.
Okay.
And that's somehow like tying into the current universe. Again, absolute speculation and rumor. I don't even remember where I read it, so it's like I could have dreamt that shit. But I really did read that somewhere. I just don't remember where anymore. It was a while ago.
Good enough for me.
Thanks.
Now's the point where we would usually play a song, but I think because we've had so many technical difficulties, we're just going to cut second song, and we'll just talk a little bit about our main discussion topic, which is that HBO is finally going to let people subscribe that don't have cable.
What?
Yep, they're going to do over the internet version, so it's going to be everyone's hoping it's going to be just like HBO Go is now, except you just pay maybe $15 or $20 a month, and you get it over the internet. You don't need cable.
See, yeah, that is pretty cool.
It's a pretty big deal, I think. I don't think it's as big a deal as it could be, because I still am afraid that cable companies, because we get all our internet from cable companies, right?
Yep.
So the cable company could still say things like, if you pay for a faster connection, we'll give you free HBO, even if you don't have cable. Or if you do bundles with HBO, and that to me is the old way, right? It's still the old way. It's the HBO making deals with cable companies to possibly provide better service for themselves over what should just be a dumb pipe to the internet.
Right.
But I mean, maybe we don't care. Maybe that means instead of paying $215 a month for my cable, I could just pay for HBO, and I could pay for Showtime, and I could pay for the network channels, because CBS also announced that they're going to have an over-the-top service. That's going to be $6 a month, but you'll be able to watch the live broadcast through the app as well as old shows like on demand. So let's say the 5 big networks are each $6 a piece, right? Or you put an antenna on your roof, of course.
Sure.
So we're talking about like $35 worth of broadcast channels, maybe another $40 for a couple of big movie channels, and that would be half of what I'm paying now.
Well, then you got to throw in your cable, your internet bill.
Right. So there would be an internet bill, whatever that is, $100 a month, or depending on speeds, maybe.
And then if you want more channels.
Right. Would there be a package for things like grouped together, like Comedy Central, Sci-Fi, things like that? I mean, I watch AMC for a couple of different shows. I watch FX for a couple of different shows.
See, once you start grouping these things together, basically what you have is another cable service.
Exactly. And so it's pretty awesome. So I mean, if all I wanted was basic cable with my, I guess if all I had was basic cable with no movie channels, I would be, and the internet, I would be paying something more like, $125 a month. And then you start throwing in, that would include broadcast channels, right? Because that's basic cable.
Right.
Start throwing in a couple of the movie channels at $20 a piece. Maybe it would end up saving a little money in the end. But I don't know.
See, now, what the cable company pays HBO, like once you sign up for HBO and you're paying like $20 a month to your cable company, I mean, they're not paying anywhere near $20 to HBO.
No.
It's like, I forget what some of those numbers are, but I know some of your like lower tier channels are like $1.
Yeah, HBO might be $5. I don't remember if I heard that right, but it's possible that they pay $5 per user, something like that.
I think they need to make this thing dirt cheap. These things is really what they need to do. I mean, I understand they're not going to break their, deal with the cable companies. This is just like an alternative way of doing it.
Right. They make too much money from the cable company. The cable companies advertise for them for free. The cable companies, are their big source of money. And so I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon.
Right.
I also don't think they care where this money's coming from. If it comes from the cable companies or it comes over the top. For HBO, they don't give a shit. They're getting a subscriber. They don't care how often you watch or what shows you watch. They just want you to pay a monthly fee. And whether they get it from the cable company or from you directly, it makes total sense for them to finally be doing this.
Right.
But I don't know how much sense it makes for everyone else yet.
See, and that's why I think they should make it really cheap. I mean, we occasionally get the problems with like the networks and stuff, like some of the the local networks. Well, the larger local networks, like like Fox, and like certain cable companies will stop showing Fox because Fox wants more money. And there's like all these like wars and stuff going on. So it's like, I don't know. I think they should just make it dirt cheap, and if you're getting it through your cable, that's great. Otherwise, it's just like straight profit for them. And it's with the internet and stuff, like how much advertising do you really need on television and print media? Like not as much as you did before, because it's all about the buzz. And it's like, even if I never saw an ad about Game of Thrones, even if I never saw those original Ned Stark Winter is Coming and never had read the books, people talk about it online, and I'm just like, what the fuck are they talking about? I'm interested.
Yeah, it's very
That's
true.
why I started watching Community. I just started watching Community, for instance. And I have to download the episodes illegally because they're not available anywhere on demand at the moment. And I'm loving Community. I have never seen an advertisement for Community, barely knew the show. The only thing I knew about the show is Chevy Chase is on it. The only thing I knew about Community.
Yeah, it was a good show, but you're right.
And
it
you've
had a
told
lot
me
of word of
that,
mouth.
and other friends have told me that. They're like, do you watch Community? And I was like, no, I think that's the Chevy Chase show. And they're like, no, it's not a Chevy Chase show. You should watch it. It's funny. And they explain things to me, and I say, okay, I'm going to put it on my list. I'm going to get around to it. And I did, and I think it's a great show. I've never seen any advertising for Community, and I'm hooked. And I'm downloading it for free, so, I mean, I guess I'm really not proving my point there, but...
No, I understand what you're getting at, though.
Stealing that shit is what I'm trying to say here.
We'll have to see what happens. It seems pretty appropriately timed for Apple to put out a new Apple TV. There's been rumors about a new Apple TV, and maybe they make some kind of deal with apps like this, like an HBO app and a CBS app. That's kind of the way the Apple TV works.
Right.
So, sort of seems to me like when the Apple TV comes out, when these go into effect, which is sometime in the middle of next year, I think that a new Apple TV will also come out, and maybe there'll be some kind of a deals there that sort of makes sense. But otherwise, it's interesting, and it's kind of good to see the movie providers thinking more in the future, right? Because I think that at some point in the future, the cable companies are going to go kicking and screaming, but I think that at some point we'll all just have the internet. We'll just all get our shows over the internet. Whether it still comes in a package deal from the cable companies doesn't really matter. It's just there won't be coaxial cables running to our houses that are different than the internet cables running to our houses. I think it's all going to be the same.
Yeah, exactly.
I do think that's way off, though, still.
Yeah, it is off a bit. But I'll tell you, this is why I think I'm a socialist.
Oh, yeah?
I think, oh man, here we go. I'm gonna start getting hate mail. Joe, I think I'm a socialist, man.
Hmm.
I think the internet should be entirely like controlled by the government, but not controlled by the government. Like I think my idea of socialism is that everybody gets like, you vote for someone to be in charge of the internet, he gets one term. You vote for someone to be in charge of the power company, he gets one turn, and nobody makes a profit off of these things. And it's like it's just part of your taxes. And this way it's all one standard, and there's no... But see, it won't work. See, because I'm a realist as well. And, like, this is what socialists always say. It's like, oh, it's going to be beautiful. And then you get, like, shit like Cuba. Yeah. But it just makes so much more sense to me. It's like, like universal health care. It's like we should all... These companies shouldn't be making profit off of us bidding on the internet to the point where it's like they're literally holding us hostage. And they're literally saying that we're not going to be able to watch Netflix as well as we used to because, Netflix won't pay them more. That shit should just be like a standard.
Yeah, and there's been some of that. Like some cities they own the fast internet pipes that run through the ground, kind of like the plumbing pipes and the electrical lines. Excuse me. And those are maintained and taken care of by the cities themselves. And the people in the houses are still paying for the last bit right there. They have switches in some switching station that are monitoring how much usage they have, and so that part of it I agree, and I think other people agree too. That if ever we'd all have the same speeds, we'd all have fiber by now. We'd all have solid, really fast, really good connections, maybe at lower prices if the government's controlled the pipes, even if you're paying for the last mile from the pipe to your house.
Right.
Or,
as long as you make sure the government couldn't like shut that shit off on you, though, that's where the whole thing starts falling apart.
True. True. It's not like water or electricity, where if they shut it off, you lose lives and stuff.
Right. They can just be like, they can just get oppressive and just shut the internet, like they do in China. And other places, yes. They can start controlling that shit. So, I mean, there's got to be a way to stop that. But I think I kind of strayed off the topic there.
No, it's okay. It's all basically the same topic.
Yeah, it is, because basically what I'm saying is, like, once we able to get anything we want to watch off the internet, the internet should be almost free. Kind of like water is, as long as you don't got a leak.
And what about people with bandwidth caps? I mean, we have them on our phones, right? We can only download whatever we pay for amount of data. There are some people in their homes that have limits. I don't know if you do, but some people do. Comcast, yeah.
Exactly, because I've got Time Warner. So if Comcast buys Time Warner, like, what am I going to watch? I'm going to be forced to watch regular television because.
Or you're going to have to pay for a lot of data.
Right, which I don't want to do. I'm already paying too much to these blood-sucking bastards, these eight-legged freaks. If they capped my data, like, I'd just be absolutely fucked. I'd be watching show in real time. I'd have to buy a VCR. I've been looking at TiVos actually.
Yeah.
I may go TiVo and get rid of my cable box.
The new ones I hear are very good. Actually.
They have more shows. It's like I've got all the Doctor Who so far, and it takes up like most of my room. I'm not even like recording them in HD. It's like the cable company, unless you're willing to pay a lot more for the bigger hard drive, the cable company's like DVR box is not very good.
No, they're shitty. They're shitty interfaces. They're slow.
Yeah,
and they're not a lot. I just updated I have FiOS. I just updated to FiOS Quantum, which is. I think I have a terabyte. I think I have a terabyte and 2 different cable boxes, and I can record in 2 different places, and I could record 6 shows at once or 8 shows at once. Anyway,
it's crazy.
It's obscene, and I don't really need all that space, but I want to have it in case I need it.
Right.
And it costs a lot. It's extra every month. I pay for it because I have better boxes and more storage, and I have dual boxes with multiple recordings at the same time. But sometimes I have a bunch of stuff I want to tape.
Right.
anyway, it's interesting. And,
You know,
we'll
if
see
I got
what
a
happens.
TiVo, I would save so much money on my cable bill. To be honest,
Yeah.
really, it's like the thing I'm mostly paying for. You know, and it's because like now I've got the expanded, just because like that's what you get when you get the box. You can't say I need a DVR box, but I only want the channels I had when I had it for nothing because it was included in my rent. Like you have to take that next package up. You know,
Sure.
they give me an option. The only good thing about that is I get BBC America. So I'm basically paying like I don't know how much money, like maybe 50, 60 bucks a month for BBC America. When you boil it down, like if you want to play with the math a little, that's what I'm paying for BBC America, because that is the only channel I watch that I didn't get before.
And are you watching anything on there other than 9 episodes of Doctor Who every year and a half?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I watch Orphan Black. I watch a lot of stuff, but the point is, I'm not watching so much that I couldn't download it
Sure.
off the internet.
Or you could set up a. You know what else you could do? You could set up a. You could pay something like $5 a month and set up one of those virtual connections to make the world think you're in Great Britain, and then you can use an app. Then you can use the actual BBC app and watch it all for free.
There you go.
Yeah.
I have to get an Apple TV though. So
I guess you could watch it on.
TV.
You could watch it on a tablet or a phone, I suppose.
No, I gotta watch it on my TV. Me and the kid, we watch it on the TV, and we eat pizza.
So then, you can use. Here's a good one. You can use Plex. You know what Plex is? It's like a video media server. So Plex is like a media server. It's like you install it on your computer and it manages all your video files.
Yeah. I had something like that once upon a time.
Right.
I don't remember what it was called.
If you use, so then you could get like a Chromecast, because then you could stream from your browser, which thinks you're in England, on a Chromecast. Now you wouldn't even need Plex then. You just need Chrome.
I can Chromecast from my Mac, right?
Chromecast from a Mac, from any Chrome window. You could also Chromecast from your phone. You can Chromecast from an iPhone too.
I have so much Google on my iPhone, it's not even funny.
Everybody does. Google's got some of the better apps, especially they're even better on the iPhone sometimes than on Android phones.
Except for the Hangouts.
Yeah, I don't use it. I don't know that I use so many Google apps actually.
When I was having difficulties with my texting over the my issues here, you know, I used to be good with the Hangouts because Hangouts is like all Wi-Fi, the way I had it set up.
Right.
And when that wasn't working, I tried using Hangouts through the iPhone. It doesn't work the same way. But you know what I use? I got a little off track because I wanted to talk about what I use for streaming from my Mac to my Xbox 360. I bought this great app called Connect 360. It's available in the App Store, kids. Like the Mac App Store. I don't know if they have something. That's a great question. Do they have something similar for the iPhone? That would be awesome. But you know, I basically anytime my Mac is on, it's on. And anything that I put in a shared folder, I can access through my Xbox.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I mean that's how like I download when I downloaded the first season of Community. You know, it's on my computer, but I watch it on my Xbox.
It's similar to what I do I use iTunes to the Apple TV, so it's kind of a similar idea.
Right. Only I didn't have to get an Apple TV because I'm like, you know, I'm not the kind of guy who's going to buy an Apple TV at this moment.
Right. Well, you had the Xbox 360 already. You use what you have.
Exactly. Right. Same reason I don't have a Roku.
Right.
I want one, but I'm probably not going to get one until my 360 dies.
I may be able to send you a Roku.
Really?
You know, I have 3 Rokus on 3 TVs. I have 3 Apple TVs on 3 TVs. Right. So I have both on all 3 of my TVs now.
Right.
And I almost never use the Rokus. The reason I have them is because I have Amazon Prime, and Amazon Prime is not on the Apple TV. But everything else is on both, except iTunes is not on the Roku. Right? So I got iTunes that I need the Apple TV for, and I have Apple devices, so I want the Apple TVs. And I have Roku just for Amazon. But now Amazon just announced a stick like the Chromecast.
Right.
except it has apps on it, more like a Roku actually. And of course, it has Amazon Prime available on it, and it's just a little tiny dongle that just sticks in the back of sticks in an HDMI port. And they were, for Prime members, they were $20 a piece. So I bought one for $20.
Yeah, it's not
And
bad.
I'm thinking about pulling my oldest Roku, which is one of the original models, with down here, and moving my other two Rokus, because the other two, one is 1 year newer than that, and one is 1 year newer than that. I was thinking about stepping them down, putting the one on the TV that I use the most, putting the new thing, and not using one of my 3 Rokus.
There you go.
So if I do all that work and go behind all my TVs and move all that stuff, maybe I'll send you a Roku.
Cool. But yeah, again, I mean, it's not something I would buy unless my 360 died, because my 360 now does everything that I needed to do. Plus, even though I already paid for the year for the Xbox Gold, you no longer need Xbox Gold to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Which is big, because if you're going to cut the cord, it's like, it's like an extra $90 a year, which is nothing compared to what you're paying in cable, but it's still $90 you wouldn't have had to spend a year if you had gotten a Roku or even like a PlayStation.
Very true.
It's all about playing Halo, and that's why I have an Xbox and not a PlayStation, for Halo.
I also have an Xbox 360 that I never use.
For Halo?
I don't use it for anything.
No.
Here, but JoJo plays games on it once in a while, but he prefers the Wii.
The Wii is definitely more kid-centric.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, from the graphics, like in the, in their operating system, to like what your little guys look like and stuff, and the fact that you get to play all those games by swinging that thing around. It's definitely more of a kid-centric thing.
Yeah. I think we should end the show.
I absolutely agree. Before Google drops out again, hasn't dropped out since last time.
Pushing our luck, but we've been pretty solid for a bit. So let's call it a show.
Okay. And we'll be back next Monday.
Yeah, we'll have a show for you Monday. It will be the movie draft, hopefully.
And we're gonna have some guests. You say?
Yep. We're gonna have guests. Jen won't be playing. She can't make it this time.
Mm-hmm.
But some of my friends are gonna play.
That's pretty cool. They're gonna see how bad I am at this game.
I don't know that they're gonna be any better.
Well, it's like looking at the movies for this time around. I mean, I know exactly what my problem is. I'm not thinking ahead as to what it's actually going to make money. I mean, I think about that, but at the same time, I'm like, I really like this movie. So that's, I like the concept. So I'm going to spend all my money on something that I personally like, and I'm not really thinking about the box office draw. I think I texted you about this.
You did.
About how Annie is probably going to make some serious bank. But I'm not interested, so I'm probably going to bid 50 cents.
And it's harder with the winter draft because there's much fewer movies that seem like they're going to do well. So it's a tougher call to spend $80 on The Hobbit or take 6 $12 movies that may do okay. It's tougher because there's not a lot of blockbusters for the winter.
Right.
So we'll see.
We will.
And it's The Hobbit 3. How do you predict it? It's gone down by $50 million in each of the movies. So the first one was $200 million, the second one made $150. Is this only going to make $100 million? It's the end. I don't know. Are people bored? Are they tired of it? How do you figure it out?
How did Lord of the Rings go?
I don't remember. I have to look it up. We're ending the show, so I'm not going to look at it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll discuss this stuff during the draft.
Yes. So we got a draft show coming up.
Yeah. You can catch the show on Mondays around 8 o'clock or 8:30 live at nottheshow.com. Click the Watch Live tab up there if you want to watch us live. Otherwise, you can get all the shows there at Not The Show. Follow us on Twitter at Not The Show or Facebook.com/NotTheShow. And I guess that's it. He's Dharma Bob on Twitter, and I'm at OJoey. And we'll talk to you next time.
Yeah, and Discordia19.com. That's your Stephen King thing.
Oh, yeah, there's been some Stephen King news. There's a book coming out November 11th, so we're not going to get to talk about it before the next show. But I have it already. I'm reading it. I I have a copy they sent me to review for the site. So next time we do a regular show, maybe we'll talk about some Stephen King stuff too.
Yeah.
I will have been to 2 ridiculously stupid signings too. We'll talk about that too next time we have a real show.
Awesome.
Good night, buddy.
Night.
On top of the world, on top of it all, trying to feel invincible. Yeah, yeah, dying on top of the world. I remember the nights, caught up in dreaming my goodbyes, watching the door for anything more than ordinary life. I remember the days, new beginnings on an open page. Something to prove, nothing to lose, not a soul to betray. Here I am, living a dream that I can't hold. Here I am on my own, on top of the world, on top of it all, trying to feel invincible. Yeah, yeah, I'm dying on top of the world. I remember the lies, caught up in building paradise. The angels were slaves, demons behaved, and everything was alright. Here I am, living a dream that I can't hold. Here I am on my own, on top of the world, on top of it all, trying to feel invincible. Yeah, yeah, on top of the world, on top of it all, trying to feel invincible. Yeah, yeah, I'm dying on top of the world. Beneath me, I wish they could reach me, but I'm on top of the world. Up here, I'm dying alone. Inside the walls are cold, outside of happiness. It's all been a show, too late to confess. No room for heart and soul, no room for innocence. Innocence, on top of the world, on top of it all, trying to feel invincible. Yeah, yeah, on top of the world, on top of it all, trying to feel invincible. Yeah, yeah, on top of the world, on top of it all, trying to feel invincible. Yeah, yeah, I'm dying on top of the world. Dying on top of the world.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.